Did you start that, Angela?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is Angela Hughes. She's our host agency owner. She's well traveled, to say the least. She's been in the travel industry for since the 1990s, right?
Yeah, that ages
Yeah.
me.
No, she's amazing. I'd love for her to get started. We're going to speak to you guys about how our host agency runs, how you work with one, how it works to be a travel advisor. We're going to cover a lot today. So go ahead and feel free to put your questions in the chat for now, and then we'll work on those towards the end, okay?
Okay, perfect. So I just want to say hi to you guys. Thanks for coming out today. I know a lot of you guys follow me on social media. I recognize some faces on here. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out today. I speak at like a rapid, high, fast pace. So follow along. We're going to have this recorded if you want to watch again. But I've got a ton of slides I want to go through and I want to be respectful of your time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started there with this. So give me 1 second to share my screen. Again, this is for people who are looking for a new host agency, whether you're brand new to the industry or if you're looking to level up. We've got a couple of different options that we're doing with people today. Let me go ahead, and if you have not muted yourself, could you go ahead and do that? Because I hear a bunch of background sound. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. I'm so blind, I'm going to have to go there. Cass, do you want to mute everybody? Because it sounds like we've got some.
I would, but it won't let me because I'm not a host.
Oh, beautiful.
Trying to figure that out.
Give us 1 second, you guys, because let me just get this hosting thing back to her. If any of you guys are smarter than we are, tell us how to do that on Zoom. And can we not add people, or do you have to, you don't see how to add people there at all now that I somehow ruined this?
Yeah, I can't admit people. I can't do anything. I'm just a participant at this point.
Okay, give us 1 second really quick, you guys.
Like if you're going to have tech issues, it's going to happen when you have a million people on a Zoom.
Yeah, make host. Okay, there we are.
We're back.
You should be.
I am back. Okay, cool. Sorry.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks you guys. Sorry, because I should not be running these types of things. Obviously, I cannot do it right. Okay, so now let me get my screen going here. Really quick. Let me get you guys off of here. Okay, let me go to presentation. Okay, can you guys see my screen here? I want to make sure. Okay, here we go. So let me tell you a little bit about Trips and Ships. Thanks for being patient there. Let me tell you a little bit about Trips and Ships. We've been around since 1995. We're part of the Travel Leaders Network. We're with Internova, and we're members of the Luxury Alliance with them as well. One of the things you may not know about Travel Leaders, and you may be thinking like, how come she doesn't belong to Virtuoso? Internova is the parent company of Travel Leaders. They're actually a venture capitalist group that came in and bought up a lot of agencies and consortia during the early 2020 season of COVID. And they actually brought over an entire book of like luxury business when they hired several people from Virtuoso. And now they are definitely the leaders in the luxury space. And you're going to see that train moving very fast over the next couple of years. I know some of you are thinking like, whoa, Virtuoso is all luxury, and they are. We have everything that Virtuoso has and so much more. So I just want to put that out there because a lot of people ask why I'm in the luxury space, but I don't belong with Virtuoso. And I want to say that to you because we have every single thing and more that they offer. And frankly, I think you're going to like all of it. So like I said, I'm Angela Hughes. I'm the CEO of the company. I'm also the founder of the company. I was in business with my parents for a long time. I started when I was 14 with them. And so I have like decades of experience. I'm 55 years old. I work as an industry thought leader and also as a private consultant. I have a master's degree from Brigham Young University in travel and tourism and geography as well. I'm a former adjunct college professor and a private consultant for some of the biggest brands around the world. Via Croatia, some of the biggest host agencies in the United States I train and consult for. You see me guest speaking at things like Cruise World, at Asta, at Via Croatia, just with their yachts. Our agency is like for Via Croatia, their biggest yacht sellers out of all of their brands that they work with. And so I use some of that influencing power to also power our agency, which works out really great for people that are looking to up their game. I am a world traveler. I've been to probably close to 110 countries over and over and over. Last year alone, I spent over 180 days in Europe, and I'm probably gone every 2 weeks. I'm in a stage in my life right now where I have the time, I have the money, I have the energy. And so I just get out. I'm always with our vendors. I just came from meeting with a big vendor today. Our relationships are really, really clutch for me around the world. And I'm always out there just doing it, but also building that relationship. So, our villa product in Greece is really solid. Our yacht product's really solid. Our travel leaders, preferred suppliers, whether it's Globus or Ama Waterways, or even if it's Journeys, I'm always meeting with them to make sure that we're just like top of, the food chain with them. And even though we're small and we don't look like the 10,000 person host agency that you can come in for $12 for, we are really powerful in terms of reputation in the luxury space and, making real big impact. So I'd say that small and mighty is a good description for us. As far as like working in the luxury space, I am really well versed from everything from the Maldives to Tahiti to safari, which is really strong for me, to the expeditions, to the river cruising, I could build an FIT package in 2 seconds for somebody, front and center. And so I like to throw that out there to help our advisors, help mentor them and help them get them moving their business upwards. Okay. My company is all about family first. I'm strong mother, parent, grandmother. Yes, I've got 3 grandkids. I take family serious, and I want our employees to take, or our contractors to take family serious as well. And so that means being able to work smarter and not harder. We want you doing less transactions, making more money, because at the end of the day, it's all about the people that you live with, whoever your significant other is, what other, whoever you're caring for, whether it be a grandparent, mother, children. Our goal is to get you in your home more, spending time with the people that you love and that you feel like is your quality relationship, and working less. And that means that you're doing less transactions, selling up, spending less time selling travel. Because at the end of the day, your real job is at home. With the people that you love and the relationships that you have. And travel should just be that side thing that helps elevate that experience for you with those people that you love. And so I'm always harping on that with all of our agents, work smarter, not harder, reinvest your money in people and in humanitarian and giving back around the world. And you'll find that your life has just extreme value. I've spent a lot of time in the humanitarian sector. My family has a small nonprofit called Color My World for 10 years. Up until COVID, we ran humanitarian trips every summer to some of the biggest garbage dumps in the world, from Guatemala, Nepal, India, Peru, our flagship in Nicaragua, Dominican, Costa Rica, where we were really on the ground, working with people and giving back. We weren't making any money from those. It was just a way that, really brought huge value to my life. We've since stopped those trips because of the world climate. But I'm still involved heavily in giving back, and feel like once you've made your money, you have an obligation to give back and really build people up wherever you are, whether it's locally in Orlando or if it's in India. 2 years ago, I was moving refugees on the border of Poland and Ukraine, and used my talent in travel to help move them all across Europe. And within just an hour or two of being on the ground, probably fundraised $50,000 to $70,000 where we could move Ukrainian refugees. And literally the minute they walked over the border, they were in my van getting shuffled to a place somewhere in Europe. And, I'm still a really big supporter of humanitarian work, and want to just, regardless if you go with us or with another agency, I want that to be a target for you, because, money's only as good as it's worth, and it should go back into people and places and things. I don't believe in keeping a lot of money. I believe in giving back and changing communities and changing people around the world. And so my focus is a little bit not so much about how much money I can make on you on fees and commissions and everything, but helping you understand the value of becoming a better person and getting back out and changing people's lives on the ground. One of the things that's super amazing about becoming a trips and ships luxury advisor, we call them Lux advisors at our agency, is that you can work remote, you can own your own business. This is an independent contractor job. And if you look at the present data, higher end advisors are in high demand and they're making a lot of really good flow, cash flow. And so we've shifted from the 90s where everybody was transactional and you were just an agent and you were an order taker to being a really high in demand job. We have advisors that are making 6 digits that have been with me just 4 years. And we're helping grow them into space again, where they're doing less transactions and making higher money. We belong to the power of, like I said, Travel Leaders Network, the Internova Group, where we're part of their President's Club. We're one of their top 30 agencies. And that helps give us, shared resources from higher commissions to specialized assistance to reduced costs in the things that we're doing. And so sometimes people will say, like, I'm out working on my own. I want to own my own company. I don't want to belong to a host. The bottom line is belonging to a host is a really smart situation because of the resources that are available. You will make more money belonging to a host than being out independently on your own. And I know some travel schools teach, like, go out independent, go on your own as quick as you can. But the bottom line is the power of, like, belonging to a bigger network is powerful because of relationships, alliances, shared resources, etc. Part of Travel Leaders that's really important to me is that once an agent reaches $1 million, we can move him into an exclusive club that is called the Luxury Leaders Alliance. And so our goal is to get as many people into the Luxury Leaders Alliance to help them have those more exclusive resources that they don't have just being part of the mass market brands. And so if you're in a position where you are doing this more as a full-time or you have more hours to devote, that's great. That would be a goal that we would have for you. If you're coming in and you have a second job that you're working, which a lot of our advisors do across the board in the industry, make that a goal to where you can transition out of what you're doing if you want to make this a full-time experience for you. If you want to be a hobbyist, we're fine with that too. We'll meet you where you're at. But for our people who are selling full-time, Luxury Alliance is a goal that we have to get people to $1 million. And we have a lot of success records. I just showed last week on my Instagram story of 18, 16, $15,000 checks that I wrote out for a 2-week pay period to our advisors that are just killing it. And I love that. These are some of the benefits in the Luxury Alliance that we've got, from media connections to hosted events to dedicated trainings to annual forums that you can go to. It puts you in a whole new level. So let's talk about this for a minute. This is how it works with suppliers. So if you're brand new to the industry, suppliers pay commissions. You all book under an umbrella, which is our IATA number, so our IATA number. And those total sales combined give us buying power to help our commission level go up, okay? And so everybody comes in and books under that brand. If you're working with a destination management company, you don't need an IATA card for that or an IATA number. That's fine as well, because we've got those preferred relationships. And even though we don't track it with that number, it's all based on the level of sales that we do with them and the relationship with what we have with them. And so we book everything under an umbrella per se. Commission percentages are paid by travel partner types, and they can range from anywhere from 10 to probably 18%, depending on what types of things that you're selling. And so, obviously that's why at our agency, we reinforce trying to sell more in the premium and the luxury space, because commissions are higher, booking transactions are higher, and you're ultimately making more money doing that. We also are an agency that sells ourselves based on design fees or service fees. We are a Florida-based agency, and so all service fees or design fees that you would charge a client to work with you has to be processed through our agency. We do take 9% of that service fee. That is a Florida law. And we have to charge 9%. It's 4% for Stripe to process it and 5% for our accountant, who has to dig through millions of service fees every day that come through the agency. And so we want people charging service fees, even right when they come to us, because that's a way you can be making money right out of the chute. Generally, you're not paid until commissions are paid by the cruise lines or the tour operators. And so there could be a 6-month or 4-month gap before you get paid your commission, but you could be making service and design fees every single week, supplementing and waiting for those commissions to come in. And you determine what you want to charge that client. So we encourage our agents to have service and design fees. Let's look right here why hosting makes sense with us. Let's say you're out on your own and a booking amounts to $10,000. You might be only getting 10% because you don't have higher commissions. And with us, maybe you're getting 15%. So at the end of the day, you're still making more with us, coming in at a lesser commission, even if you had to split the commission with us, which we do commission splits with our advisors like any host agency. And you'd still be making more with a host than you would be independently on your own. We have tons of marketing tools, and this is what I love. With the power of Travel Leaders. Travel Leaders literally has the best marketing tools in all of the consortias, including Virtuoso. We have a program called Engagement that I'm going to be talking about, and Agent Profiler that far surpasses anything that's out there. We offer education, we offer marketing, we offer social media, we offer education and training. So let's talk about a few of those. First of all is the spaces that we hold. We have a huge book of hotel properties that offer VIP amenities and hotel booking programs. Select is with our in-country partners and our hotels, we can offer VIP amenities that people do not have access to before. Let's go ahead and mute whoever just came on. Lost my train of thought there. So we offer VIP amenities to, let me just mute. There we go. We offer VIP amenities to our supplier or to our clients that they can't get booking direct, that include like free upgrades and different amenities that really bring value to the higher end sector. We also have hotels through Beds Online, through our hotel booking program with Snap. We have cruise space. We have over 3,500 different cruise space amenity programs that helps you upsell. One is our Distinctive Voyage program that you can become a host of. So once you've sold $100,000 and you are selling you've done a couple groups per se, or you've escorted a couple of groups, you can qualify to become a Distinctive Voyage host. And that means you represent the entire network and of travel leaders, and you can pick between like Silverseas, Celebrity, Regent, Seabourn. There's a bidding process, and go on those ships for either taxes or fee or totally free. So next week, I'm going on Silverseas. I'm the host for the entire network for travel leaders, and I'm going completely free on a $20,000 cruise, and I just have to host the shore excursion and the cocktail party and be friendly to all the guests that Travel Leaders is sending on. I'm going as a host, not under my own brand. And I can choose as many of those cruises as I want to do throughout the year. Last year, I literally did 6 of those different sailings. And then part of the process of that is you're selling it as come sell with me. I'm going to be on Silverseas, and it helps your bookings grow. So we want everybody using the cruise space, not only to give them an edge on closing the deal because we're offering amenities, but also because you might be hosting, and that gives you an advantage. And so the goal is to get everybody to maybe like the Luxury Alliance, but also to get them to become a Distinctive Voyage host so they can be sailing on some of these lines that you don't get offers to sell on, like Seabourn and Silverseas and Regent and maybe even Celebrity and Holland. And that adds a lot of value to your life because not only does that get you to destinations, but you don't have all that pressure to be selling the whole entire group to qualify for a free cruise. We talked about the Leaders Alliance a little bit, with Luxury Alliance being one of them. We also have a Family Alliance. We have a Honeymoon and Destination Wedding Alliance, and soon to have an Adventure Alliance. And those all come in at different price points. To get into the Honeymoon and Destination Romance Alliance, you only need to have sold 500,000. And so there are different goals that you can make to belong to different exclusive clubs that give you value add. We have a program that's brand new called Cruise Complete. This is a high-tech booking engine that has 14 different cruise lines in there. So if you're brand new to the cruise industry, or even if you're not, you can come in and do shopping and booking right from one system called Cruise Complete that's amazing. So you don't need to go out and learn 17 different systems. You can book everything right here and quote right from here. It's a dream come true that just came out for us. And the minute you join our agency, that's one of the required 1-hour trainings that we have you do, is just get on Cruise Complete and get up to speed with that. So you can immediately be quoting people, even, you know. And do we still recommend that you go out and learn the other lines? Absolutely. You know, to know their booking systems, but you could be up and running within 24 hours using Cruise Complete. And, you know, you don't have to worry about 95 logins or anything. And you can be up and going and quoting 14 of our top lines right from Cruise Complete. We also have an air program called Snap. It's brand new. Snap gives just enhanced revenue to your agency, your independent contractor status. So you can quickly find and sell air. And even if it's low-end air that's non-commissionable, you could add a service fee on there and be quoting and booking air without having to learn a whole GDS system or own a GDS system to be able to book air. And Travel Leaders has a ton of contracts in premium and business first class space. And on those contracts are commissionable. And so we split the commission with them 50-50. So you can be making money on air and they're carrying most of the burden. You know, I mean, they're doing all of the booking for you once you put it in. And it's a simple point and click solution. If you can use Google, you can use it. So you don't have to learn a system like like we used to do on WorldSpan and Apollo and all of these different booking engines. And it helps with mistakes and debit memos that we used to have when there was mistakes in booking air. And so we can handle air right out of the bat. We'll have you trained on that in 1 hour and you can start booking air, and you can add a service fee on that too, as well, and be making money on simple air. This is a look at inside Cruise Complete of how that looks when you send out a quote to somebody. It can shop and you can compare 4 lines. I just screenshotted one of the pages for you. It's just really beautiful how easy it is to learn how to sell a cruise. You don't need to know all the lines right out of the chute. You can just get on and start booking. We have a program called Agent Profiler. This is one of my favorite programs. This helps give you a landing page right out of the chute, and Travel Leaders has invested millions of dollars in putting, if somebody goes out and does a search for like a travel agent near me in Orlando, Florida, where I'm at, who sells Africa, you know, it's going to narrow it down based on what they search for, and you could potentially pop up. We get tens of thousands of dollars in leads. I got one a couple of weeks ago that was a $30,000 trip to Tahiti that we closed at $50,000. And so we're getting really good leads off that. We had another one, 150,000 safari off that. I had a world cruise come off of that. That is free marketing that we're giving you through the Agent Profiler program. There's some tricks to that. That's offered to all Travel Leaders Network program or agencies. Most people do not know how to really work with that. They have a profile up. They're not getting any leads on that. We know some hidden secrets on that because I'm a techie. And, you know, we've been training our agents and educating them on using that better and building it. You know, we've even deep dived into their own state to see what their competition is when somebody comes up. A lot of agents are not accessing or using the power of their reviews from their clients. It's also review driven based on what, you know, you're selling. And so we are trying to help every single one of our advisors maximize Agent Profilers so they're getting amazing free leads that you would not get anywhere else. This is what it looks like when someone first pulls it up. You can see I've got 188 reviews here, and I don't care who you work for. I would definitely get a professional photo to put on there. There are so many crappy photos on there of people that have just cut themselves out of a trip in Switzerland, out of a group photo, and put that up. You know, you need professional photos. You need to look amazing because people are attracted to beautiful people. They're attracted to good photos. Just like if you're out shopping for a realtor, you're going to pick somebody that looks good. So I don't care who you are. I want you to go get a professional photo done. If you never talk to me again, have that be your takeaway. You will get selected 100 times over somebody that has a non-professional, just cropped photo. You can have individual bios on things that you like to sell. So I probably have 20, I sell everything, but you know, I have things broken down for Kenya, for Tahiti, for Europe, just based on whatever you want to sell. This is a landing page you could have up, and with the power of artificial intelligence, you could have it up really, really quickly. These are some of the tools that we've got then. We've got marketing programs, we've got booking tools, we've got agent profiler that is the lead gen that I just talked about, and we have a lot of luxury travel solutions. We've got programs, events, education, partnerships, and a lot of corporate travel opportunities as well. Let's talk about engagement marketing for a minute. Engagement marketing is a targeted offer from leading suppliers that we work with. We have a program where they'll be sending out consumer email for you, and we probably have that available 180 days a year. And literally you're uploading your list, and that will give your agency, when it's attached to your agent profiler that we just discussed, a call to action. So when you're sending out a email, and they're sending it out automatically for you. So here's what happens. Number one, you upload your list of people. Number two, you have that agent profiler landing page done. And three, you let travel leaders send out the marketing for you. You just click on what suppliers you want sent out, and they just send it out for you. We booked Regent Cruises on that. We booked Silver Seas on that. And so that will target your people based on zip codes. They've got all types of different things that they do to break it down to who. And you can choose too. You can choose which clients it goes to. I generally let travel leaders just pick for me because they're really sharp at who they want to send it out to. They also have direct mailer opportunities. Hold tight, I'm going to grab a couple. Sorry, I didn't have these right with me, but these are some of the mailers that, gosh, it's so blurry, I can't show you. But these are the mailers that they send out. These are 3- and 4-page postcards with my name on the back. This is beautiful Hurtigruten here. It's blurry, sorry. But these are going directly to my client's mailbox, no charge to me. I get X amount of pieces per year based on my relationship with them and how much I've been selling, and these land right at home in my people's mailbox with my name on it. It's a dream. This is one here that it looks like, you know, you can get it via email, you can get it via regular mail. These are other things that we have available totally free to you. Our magazines, our luxury travel magazine, our postcards magazine, our cruise collection, our bucket list magazine. If you're in destination weddings, you can get Destination Bliss magazines. This is gorgeous if you're working in the romance space. So we have like really high valued content going out to our people. We have what's called the social media studio, where they're training you on how to use social media better. We just had a whole Reels series. We've got what's called a social media content calendar, where travel leaders will actually push out content to you, to your social media, Instagram, etc. Super easy. So if you don't have time to maintain that, that can help you maintain your content, and they can do that for you. And you're just kind of selecting, it's tag team, and I'll use both. I'll post my own stories and also have it push out content. We have a ton of online learning opportunities, from live webinars. We've got 15-minute or less trainings, tip sheets, on-demand lessons, workshops. And we consider your career to be a long-term investment. So we see a direct correlation with people who are continually using education and training to producing the highest quality of sales. Okay. And again, I have agents that are doing 1.3 million, but maybe they're doing 400 transactions. I've got another agent who's done 500,000 in 14 transactions. Who's the better agent? You know, I would say it's probably the $500,000 agent, because she did that in 14 transactions, right? So we look at like the quality of the types of sales that you're doing and try to make improvements. I go through every single advisor and I know, okay, why is she doing 400 transactions? Well, we've got to get her selling more preferred suppliers and cutting down on the Expedia and the Viator and the, you know, those piece by piecemeal things, and get them selling something, you know, that's, you know, she's just sending out to the supplier, they're sending back, and, you know, she doesn't have to spend that much time. We're helping you convert in education to doing higher sales. Okay, so once you join us, let me see if I can move this, because I can't see the slide. We have a lot of live training every single week. We have a live BDM on. We have our Travel Leaders Network training, and I do once a month the business development training with our people, whether it's FAQ and you just come in and ask me, or if I'm seeing something that I feel like everybody needs help with, like agent profiler, helping them learn how to do that CEO better and build that better. Or maybe it's working on their marketing, or maybe they need help learning how to sell better. I'm doing business development training with our people. On the side, I run a program called the Luxury Travel University, where I do have paid consulting if you need one-on-one help. We have international fam trips and education trips, not only with our suppliers, but I offer those through the Luxury Travel University as well. And then, of course, any of your personal training is always, or travel is always really valued. We use 3 products that are super hot. We offer Churn to our advisors. We just broke a brand new contract with them. We feel like Churn is probably the best CRM right now in the business. And so we have a reduced rate with them that you can join Churn as your CRM of choice. And you can get a discount code with us. So a CRM is a customer management database where you can integrate travel industry solutions, which is the legal side of things, your contracts, you got to have your agents or your clients sign contracts and terms and conditions and waivers. They provide that. And then we track it all in turn. Okay. And then once you made a booking, we use a system called Scion that takes 3 minutes, which you don't have to pay for, to track. So you'd have two things that you'd probably need to sign up to, or if you're using something else, that's fine as well. It's not required, but we recommend a Churn contract, which is probably running somewhere between $20 and $35. I'll have to look at what our contract is. And Travel Industry Solutions, they have their own subscription as well. And then that would get you up and booking. You also would have to carry your own errors and admission insurance. A lot of agencies say they provide errors and admission insurance, which we do as well. We have a $2 or $3 million policy, but that's split among a ton of different advisors. I don't care if you work under our brand or your own brand, you should carry your own errors and admission, because liability is so extremely high that we require that people carry a policy. So if you work for another host who says they carry that, sure, so do we. But if they have 10,000 people under X host agency, or 5,000 or even 5, that policy can go super quick, if somebody gets sued. Everybody should consider carrying errors and admission insurance, so you're covering your company, whether you work under your brand or my brand, and you name us as a writer on that, okay? And then we carry a policy as well. Everybody's protected. 10 years ago, we didn't even have an issue with that. Now there's so much liability in selling travel that you want to make sure that you're covered, whether you go with me or you're with another agency. Make sure that you're sharp enough to carry that additional policy, because most host agencies will say they carry one, you don't need one. They're lying to you, okay? Our commission is some of the most the most competitive commission structure in the industry. We have high rates with all of our people, and we're within 1% of the really big host agencies. So if you're thinking like, I don't want to leave X agency because they're getting 16%, we might be getting 15, and you would be so close to what you're doing, but we're going to actually help you make better sales where you might not even miss that 1%. So I would not just judge it. Let's say you belong to a Nexion or an outside agent or something, because I think over time you'll see that your growth with us is going to get you to where you're actually making better money. We want you selling in the yacht space. We want you selling in the villa space. We want you selling in the river cruise space. Sometimes people don't leave their agencies because they're so tied up on the commission piece that they don't think of the long-term picture of where they want to be in like 5 years, and the types of things that they want to be selling in 5 years. Oh, I'm going backwards now. Here's what our commission tracking program looks like. Once you log it in, it's this simple. You'll see, and this is a screenshot of some of the bookings that we just had. Look at this, 39,000 at Beaches, 43,000 on Regent, Paul Gauguin, 15,000, Antarctica, 57,000. Those are the types of things our people are selling. And even if you're selling 3,000, we still love it in there. I just won't show it in this training because we have a lot of people that are coming in new to the industry, and you've got to start somewhere. So I don't want you to feel intimidated when you see these types of numbers, because guess what? Everybody started somewhere with the $2,000 and the $3,000 and the $4,000 bookings. We're going to meet you wherever you are and help just bring you up. Okay. But I'm showing you this because a commission tracking system takes 1 minute to track your commission. You'll know exactly, we put commission in every single day when we get paid, and you can see it escrowed out there until the client travels. Then you have a statement, and we pay right from that statement twice a month from Wells Fargo. And so you always know what's been paid. It's got invoice tracking. This is state of the art. So you can go ahead and send that out to a supplier and be like, hey, you haven't paid me. What's going on? And just as a click of the button. So you always know where, you don't need to be hitting us and going, where's our commission? If you don't see it in there, it means the supplier hasn't paid. Now, occasionally we'll miss one or two because we've got millions of dollars coming through, or it may come in under a different name and we can't recognize who it belongs to, or a different parent company and we don't recognize it. But for 90, probably 80, 98% of the time, you can see exactly when you've been paid and how much you've got coming in. And like I said, last week, I was writing out $15,000, $18,000 checks to advisors. Big on service fees, like we said. This is one that Jill, her first year that she joined me, charged a $1,200 service fee right off the bat, client paid. So we're always encouraging people to get out of their comfort zone and charge service fees. And I'd say people at our agency, they're charging anywhere between $200 and $2,000, depending on what you're doing. I did a group trip that was just 30 hotel rooms the other day for a President's Club. I probably charged $1,500. My average rate is probably $500 for just a regular family traveling. Some of our agents charge it per person. You can decide. The service fee is your fee. You can decide how you want to do it. We have 2 ways that you can work under our system as an associate Lux advisor. That means you sell under our brand of Trips and Ships Luxury Travel. We charge $150 to come in kind of out of the box, work under our brand. You'd be Susan Smith, an independent affiliate of Trips and Ships Luxury Travel. It's $150 for that email address. That's separate from our other fees, but you could be like up and going next Monday with us under our brand. If you feel like you don't want to create your whole entire, you don't want to go out and get an EIN number and, register with your state and set up a corporation and do the accounting and all those things. We have a lot of advisors that just sell under that because they want to focus on selling. They want to focus on travel. They don't want to run their brand anymore. We've had people move from their own brand to our brand. They're treated exactly the same. So if you come over as an affiliate, that means you'd have your own brand, you'd have your own website, your own branding, your name. You'd be carrying an E&O policy. You'd be set up with the IRS, the whole 9 yards. And you would work as ABC Travel, again, an independent affiliate of Trips and Ships Luxury Travel. So we take people who have their own brand, or you can come work under Trips and Ships. We love you either way, and we treat you the exact same way. It's just how you represent yourself to the crowd. Here's just kind of a slide. Again, you work under your own brand or our brand. Everybody should be carrying errors and admission insurance and additional policy. All of our advisors, we encourage them to work through Travel Industry Solutions for their forms and have a subscription with them. I'm an influencer for them. I love their brand. They're the best for covering you for liability, and they offer a lot of additional training to help you out on that. Like I said, if you're with Trips and Ships, you'll have an email address under our domain name. All the training's the exact same for everybody, okay? Once you join us, you'll fill out an application fee, which we are waiving today for people on the webinar. So we usually charge $150 to apply for us. We're waiving that today. We do have a one-time annual fee of $500, but we're reducing that down today to $300 for your first year. Your second year, it would go up to our regular fee of $500 annually. We charge higher fees. I do that on purpose. That keeps the riffraff out, and that keeps us with like the classiest agents in the industry, and people know us for that. People say our fees are high. I know our fees are high. It's probably the cost of one river cruise to join us every single year in terms of commission, you know? But that keeps the best agents in here and that keeps our quality high. And we don't take everybody. We're not come join the club for $49. That's a gym membership with a lot of host agencies. I want classy people. I want people who want to be in long-term with us. And so, you know, we don't keep the door open for everybody. It just wants to slip into the field. And I'm really vocal about that. And I've been vocal across the industry about that. You know, we want amazing people. We'll take you where you're at. But we charge higher fees and that helps keep our quality higher and that helps keep our advisors the best. And that again is if you're new, great. If you're been in the industry 10 years, amazing. We'll take you where you're at and we'll help you grow. So for today, for this webinar, we're waiving the application fee. We're letting you come in for $300 versus $500 to join us this week. We talked about the Trips and Chips Lex Tribe branding.
Angela, one
Yes.
second. I did just drop that link into the chat for anyone who was interested.
Yeah, so and that's our just application because our application that's on our website and our website's luxuryhostagency.com if you want to write that in there, Cassie. Luxuryhostagency.com is our Lux Advisor portal. If you apply off that one, there's a $150 fee attached. And so that's why we're dropping this link in there for you. For our Trips and Ships advisors who work under our brand, we always throw out a lot of branding for them to use right out of the chute, their business cards, promo pieces, different things that are branded that we can do in bulk under Trips and Ships. And so different service and pricing guides that they can give their clients when they get started that show how we work. So there's some nice pieces that we put out there. It's business in a box. It's gorgeous. Frequently asked questions. You know, we'll go through some of the frequently asked questions at the end today. But these are frequently asked questions that are in your branding that go out in this beautiful packet that you have to give in the service and pricing guide the minute you start working with a client of how you work, how you operate, what it takes to get started, what are the steps to working with you, and then all of these frequently asked questions about working with an agency and an advisor. We do have a brand new, and we've never offered Disney travel agents to join us before, but we're moving and shaking in the high-end Disney, especially in Disney Adventures and Disney Cruises. And so we're welcoming Disney agents to the fold, and we're going to have a special for just people who want to sell in the Disney space. And I'll talk about that in just a hot minute. But if you're brand new and you think, I'm not ready to sell in the other space, we're going to let you come in at just $150 annually. You don't have to pay the $300, $150 annually. And then of course the branding fee, if you don't want to have your own brand. What just happened? Hold on. Where did my presentation go? Give me 1 second. How did we just lose the presentation? Never fails, right, people? Okay. Let me get back to it. We're almost done.
Let's answer 2 questions while you're looking.
Okay.
The question is, do we allow affiliate Lux advisors to have sub agents?
Yes, we do. And I'll talk about that in just a hot minute.
And then will people have access to this recording?
Will people have access to this recording? Yes, we'll have this available for a short minute after this. It'll only be available for a time period. So, okay. So for our Disney agents, like I said, we are offering $150 to come in to start. And then if you need branding and to work under our brand, we'd be the additional $150, just like our agency. And some people like to start there. Maybe they just want to sell in the Disney space and they're not ready to sell the other things. You could still attend all of our trainings. And once you're ready to move up, your fees would go up to match our other advisors and you could be selling in that space. Some people want to sell exclusively in the Disney only space. Cassie will be running the Disney space. You will have to be certified through the Disney program. They have their own certification before you can sell. with them. But that would be like Disney and Universal. But you're welcome to attend our other trainings so you can start selling in that space. And when you felt like you were comfortable moving into other arenas, because what happens is you might sell a Disney client and then they're going to come back to you and be like, I want a river cruise now. You know, you can get your feet off the ground with Disney. Some agents do really well in Disney space only. I would say it's great to expand though, but we want to get people who are fairly new to the industry who don't feel confident and just want to sell in Disney and they feel good about Disney started with us. We've never offered that option before. And we do want to bring on a few agents to do that this go around because we do sell quite a bit of Disney. And are we earmarked? No, because of the structure of our organization, we cannot be earmarked. Are we selling over the 500,000 in Disney to be earmarked? Yes, but because of the way we have our contracts with our people, and we are not a Disney only agency, we are not earmarked. Okay. And we're not intending to be earmarked because it really doesn't help us out at all. I mean, we can offer everything that they have without the earmark status. I live 15 minutes away from Disney. I am 2,000% more confident than half of these Disney agents out there. And, you know, just from living next door to it here. And we want to get as many people involved with Disney as possible and sailing on Disney cruises and working with Disney adventures because high-end Disney is the train that you should be on. That's the destination direction that Disney's going on as well. They're no longer marketing to low-end travel for Disney or family market. They're shifting everything into the high-end market. And we see that happening, especially globally. And so we want our people on that as well. We have a whole back office called the Luxury Host Agency Portal that you'll have access to, where we keep our suppliers, where we keep our training and education, our frequently asked questions, all of our BDMs, you know, how to log into things. And Travel Leaders is coming out with a brand new website called Agent Universe. We have an older version of that in the middle of Q4, and that will be, and we use those two simultaneously, but we're going to integrate that into ours. So it's kind of one stop for everything. And that website, I was on the committee for that. It's gorgeous. 2 years ago, they did an independent research panel on it, and I was asked to be on that to give all the feedback of what we think we need, you know, for the consortia as a whole. It's going to be gorgeous and it's going to be easy to work with. And so that'll just integrate into our gorgeous website as well. Here are our fees. Today, for the new advisors, we're going to waive 6 months of the annual fees. And so our fees are 65, 70, 80, and 90%. Now, if you're coming from a different agency and you're already on a commission structure, I want to talk to you individually before you decide what you're doing, because I want to see where you're at and where we can meet you at in terms of condition or commissions. Okay. We're going to waive the first 6 months of fees at 70 and 80% for new advisors. We don't have advisors come in at 90, new advisors come in at 90%. And we know you can go out to another agency and do 90% and 100%. We're not willing to give it away because we've got too much education and training and mentorship that comes along with that. And frankly, we might not be the right host for you if you're looking solely at just getting, you know, straight out of the box 90%. We want to build our agents. And so if you're with another agency, you're getting higher commission, let's set up a one-on-one call. I'd love to talk to you, and, you know, we'll be happy to meet you where you're at and see where we can bring you over and make it competitive for both you and us. If you're a new advisor, you'd come in with us at 65, 70, or 80%, and we'll waive that monthly fee for 6 months free because of this call. Thanks for joining us there. And then once you've done 350,000, you can move up to 90%. We feel like to be competitive in the 90% market, you need to be selling at least 350,000. That's easy to do. We had an agent join us last year. She's already done 400,000. She'll be Rookie of the Year for us this year. And she did it in just several, you know, bookings. And one was a president's trip that she got probably 2 months after she joined us. And our fees at that level, you know, are this year $300. Next year you'd pay $500 a year, and then $69.99 a month. And those are really competitive with the really high-end agencies like Brownell, Gifted Travel Network, some of the larger players in the luxury space. Where you're going to get cheaper fees are with the mass market agencies that are bringing you on like a gym membership, the Nexions, the outside agencies, the Avoyas, those types of things. We're not those people. We don't want to be those people. We might not be for you. It's clear, cut and dry. Like I said, we're building quality, and every agent we bring in understands the quality that we bring to the table. Here's where you can find me. I've got lots of different spaces on Instagram and my Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for advisors around the globe with 52,000 people, luxury travel, social media, and marketing for travel professionals. I work as an influencer for a ton of brands all over the world. And that Facebook group was designed for just the whole industry to come in and ask questions, etc. We have an advisor Facebook group that makes it easy to network with our advisors. And then I'm all over Instagram as well. Now, let me talk to you about what we're doing for our advisors in terms of getting people out on educationals. We're offering a ton of different educationals, from DMCs in Italy to, we've got people going on Abercrombie in Kent to India. We've got people that are going on AMA to Egypt. We just had people coming off safari last week. I love our advisors to get into the high-end destination space because that's where the money is. And so we love to expose and get agents out on as many experiences as possible. I just came from Avalon today. We just had 3 familiarization trips. Those are our education trips at a reduced price, that we're going to be putting out today. We've got people going on Riverside. I'm like, my strength is in the relationship with the vendors, and as many people as I can get out on those, I know it's going to turn around and you're going to sell it and you're going to love it. And so if you haven't been to 2 states, I don't care. We want to help get you exposed to like the beautiful destinations. Those are the big sellers, right? And then we also want to have, as many opportunities. Like, we've got a whole yacht sell. I just got off with Via Croatia. I'm writing their whole, for the Croatian Tourist Board, their whole certification for them, and I'll be presenting that for them. But included in that will be a ton of yacht training that we're going to give our people before we even launch it to the Croatian Tourist Board on how to be selling yachts, because we've had huge success in people selling yachts in our industry, and these are people that have never even been on a cruise. that all of a sudden, one agent, Jill Knapp, who works for me, came in 2020. This is a true, honest to God story. 2020, she didn't hardly sell anything in 21 because it was COVID. 22, we had a half a year of selling. She was their top seller last year in the yacht and in the yacht business, and booked over $1 million while her husband was dying of cancer, and she was barely working because it was the quality of the types of things that she got into that space. We got her familiar with that, and she ran with it. And just invited a ton of multi-generational families and neighborhood groups to tack onto this yacht experience, and now is known as a yacht seller, after 2 years of being an agent, which is incredible. Usually yacht sellers are like people that have been in the business a long time. Not so much anymore. I'm finding that the best thing is you got to get in with the right person. And a lot of host agencies, and this is what I'm talking about, they're tech people, or they're men who haven't traveled, or they're women who haven't really traveled, or they're bringing on luxury people to try to run luxury departments. And those people, say they're selling, but they're selling vendors, but they haven't even been to the places themselves. Have they been on 10 safaris? Ask your luxury person running your host agency. I'm on 2 safaris a year, and that's what I'm saying. There's a big difference between someone that comes on and says at your agency that they're your new luxury travel specialist, than the person that's been on 25 safaris and is in that space all the time, or is selling alumni groups, or is selling group space. We're big group space sellers. And we're doing a big thing in September and October and November on selling groups in the golf space, the incentive space, meaning president's clubs, small group travel, and also like in the expedition country club space. We want people like multiplying their numbers, and we're seeing that work. We just had an advisor hit me just yesterday. He was like, oh my gosh, I got my first, little president's club. We're not saying go after, like Pfizer Pharmaceuticals for an incentive trip. We're saying go after somebody in your neighborhood who's taking 10 people who needs a river cruise, you know? So we're shifting the thinking a little bit. But again, somebody at the top of the helm has to understand all those countries and all how it works. And we're finding at most host agencies, they don't, because they're focused on the volume, but they don't have somebody that's been to 110 countries who understands all the ins and outs of safaris, who understands how alumni groups run or corporate incentives. So anyway, those are the things that we're offering. Like I said, 300. So let's do action points here. We're not charging the 150 to apply with us since you joined. We're reducing this year's annual fee from 500 to 300. It will go up on your next contract. Every single year you can shift either up or down on the commission structure based on where you're at. Okay. You can work under your brand or our brand. And we're offering 6 months, no fees for 70 and 80% to come in with us. And then we want to talk to you if you're coming from another agency to see where you're at on that commission scale and what you can bring to us, and talk about a negotiation with you to get you into our agency where you feel comfortable making the switch. Okay, let's take open questions. What do we got, you guys?
Questions. So we've got
in 1 hour. Okay.
You did it. You did it. Let's take some questions. Okay, so someone's asking, if you start out of the box, can you later change to an affiliate?
Yes,
after,
you can. Yeah,
just on your
anniversary. Yeah,
Mhm.
on your anniversary contract. So you need to go 1 year under that, just for the sake of not driving us crazy, because we
Right.
just don't have the manpower to be switching everybody up every 12 minutes when they don't like. Now, equally across the board, people have come from owning their own business to trips and ships, and some people have gone from trips and ships to owning their own. We find that a lot of trips and ships advisors are really successful, but they should have their own LLC structure or S Corp just to protect themselves with taxes and their own. You could still work under our brand, but to protect yourself so somebody's not coming after all of your assets, you should still look at incorporating yourself somehow or another to protect your assets. I'm not an accountant. But I'm smart enough to know you're going to want to have yourself covered, because people will come after you at some point in the game. Don't want to scare anybody, but we live in a very weird society now.
Okay, Susan's asking, is it 80% commission when you start? And do you need to pay registrations for each cruise line or resort that you want to sell?
No. So the only one that we're reducing right now is Disney, and that's 150 because they're their own, that's its own thing. If you want to come in, really, we want to make it affordable because we know Disney agents come in super cheap with other agencies. We're test running this. You can come in for that. You do not have to pay to register with any other lines. You're paying to work under our umbrella as a host. Okay. So you're not paying to register to work with every single brand out there. That's what we're providing for you. So does that help answer that?
We help get you set up within all those portals. So you're linked to us. That's the whole thing, but you don't pay per.
Yeah, you're not paying to belong to anything. We are just offering a Disney only track for people that just want to sell in that space to start with at a really reduced cost. Okay.
Someone asks,
and at any time that you feel like you want to bump up to selling in the other space, you do not have to wait till your contract year, because frankly, we want you selling all different types of products, when you feel ready.
So do you have to be a well-traveled person, or does the desire to travel suffice?
The desire to travel. So I answer this question a lot when I'm on stage. Anybody can sell any destination. And this is a misnomer with travel advisors, is they feel like they can only sell destinations that they've been in. The deal is this: if you know your geography, so that means you've done a certification with the tourist board for, let's say, Tahiti. Okay. You have a really great supplier, let's say Journeys, to sell Tahiti. Journeys is one of our brands. And you can sell, meaning you can talk really well, then you can sell any product around the world. You're not going to have gone to 110 places around the world. It's time, it's money. We like to get you out in a lot of locations, but maybe you haven't been to Croatia, and Croatia is a really hot product right now. But doing all the training, being able to talk about it, being able to sell, you can sell Croatia. And then as you make money, you're going to want to invest your commission that you're making into your travels and into educational opportunities to help grow, because obviously you're going to feel more comfortable when you've been to places. But, you do not need to do that. I mean, it comes with time, right?
Mhm.
And everybody could start selling. The thing that I want you to walk away with, whether you join me or you stay where you're at, is this is a sales job. You know, you need to learn how to sell and talk to people. This is not just posting on social media, which is high level, which is low level at the top of the funnel, and saying, geez, I put things out there and nobody comes to me. We're not just putting, something on a door, a marker, like I'm in the travel business. Although you'll pick up a few people here and there being consistent with posting. Consistency is a key. But you know what sells people is just talking with people, getting them excited. Travel's amazing because you're not selling, and this is funny, I have this doTERRA oil, and nothing against doTERRA because I have all of them, but you're not selling doTERRA oil or a set of knives or, some organic food kit. Everybody, you can sell travel to anybody because you can talk about travel with anybody. People love to talk about destinations and they love to talk about where they're going, and everybody has something on their bucket list. And so what I want you guys to at least walk away with is, no matter who you belong to, is like, I can be a better salesperson by just talking to people and getting myself out there and having a lion mentality where you go after business. I text people all the time and go, hey, I just saw this Tahiti. You might want to consider doing this. It reminds me of you. Or, hey, we've got this incentive, like at Trips and Ships, we have this brand new incentive President's Club packet. And we're going to encourage our people in September just to text that to a lot of their friends that own, businesses, and be like, hey, are you doing a President's Club? We'd like to just drop this to whoever the decision maker is. And we're texting that to people. That's something brand new coming out in September. I just made it this weekend. And I've already dropped it to a ton of friends that, saying, hey, I know that you do pest control and that you guys do an incentive trip for all the pest control boys that sell in the summer. Could you just drop this to the decision maker, and you're having that dialogue. So the thing is, like, you got to chase business too. You can post and get business and people know you're in travel and you can get business that way, but this is also a sales job. And so that's why we do a lot of business development training to help people learn how to like talk better with people. Okay. So they can close more deals, because I know that that comes very natural to me. I could talk all day long about this. Doesn't come natural to a lot of people, And we always tell our clients, like, clean up what's going, or not our clients, our advisors, clean up and when I'm on stage, I say this too, clean up what's going on in here, how you feel about yourself on camera, how you feel about yourself personally, how you feel about talking to people, your relationships, because whatever's going inside here usually reflects your business on the outside. You got to clean up here to be successful out there. Okay. And that's usually the problem with a lot of people selling, is they've got too many emotional issues that block them from growing their business the right way. Okay. And so that's when I'm talking about business development. We're helping you get over some of those barriers, feeling better on camera, feeling better about talking to people, having a business development plan so you can grow. Most people are selling travel and they have no plan. They don't, I know down to the very cost of how much every single trip costs that we sell, how many minutes we spend selling on that. Cassie knows we set a timer on when we work on a trip. So then I know, do I need to charge higher service fees? Because that trip just took 75 hours and sucked every blood and gut out of my body. And, we made $695 on that. If that was making $6,000, they could suck my blood. But, if I'm only making $695 on that, I've got to make some adjustments, right? And then if I want to be making $100,000 at the end of the year, how are you going to get there? We're helping people build those business development plans so they know how they're going to get there. That means you're going to try to market X amount of river cruises and maybe a safari and certain types of things. You're not going to just randomly be posting anything out there. And we randomly have a business development plan. I'm only working with certain vendors that I know our people can sell, because even though we say we're in the luxury space, most people are mass market, and we want to move them up into the premium space. Anybody can sell in the premium space and make more money and give yourself a raise.
Okay, so there's a couple questions that we can answer at the same time. So people are asking, yes, you did miss that, whoever asked this, but we do have a lead generator through Travel Leaders Network, which is Internova. And then people are asking if does it depend on the commission structure, how much education you get?
No.
No. whatever commission
Education's
structure you're
insane.
on.
I don't care if you come in at the lowest commission structure or the highest, everybody gets amazing education with us.
And the reason I bring that up with the Travel Leader Network question is because we do our own trainings with our reps through Trips and Ships, our own educational, usually twice a week we have those going. And then TLN has an entire library full of education from start, like you're starting today, how do I do this as an advisor, to way complex stuff. So you're getting all that through our membership with Travel Leaders Network.
Yeah, and they have live training as well. So, and social media training and business development training. So that's a big bonus. And again, when people are like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't believe you belong to Travel Leaders and not Virtuoso. I say, you give me one thing, because right now Travel Leaders Network has the most powerful marketing, they have the most powerful database, and they have the most powerful programs right now, and the most powerful booking portfolio in the country belonging to Internova. So
They do. We even had somebody post about how they got a big Disneyland booking through their profile with Travel
yeah.
Leaders. So, okay, so then let's just hit a few more questions. Angela, there are several people that would like to schedule a call about how they would switch from one agency to the other. This one's a good question though. If we have trips already booked with our current host agency, how does the process work to switch?
Okay, you
Not
guys,
a great one.
should we go to Gigi Mack, who's on the call? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not pointing you out, Gigi. That was just personal. That was a personal joke that I just took, and it's not even really a joke. Okay, so you got to look at your own contract. You know, at my agency, if someone were to leave, which we've only had one person leave because of a heart attack, and you know, one is phasing out, you know, and people end up attritioning out because of personal reasons. You know, we rarely have anybody leave to other agencies. My thing is, you own your own clients. I would just ask that you finish the booking with us and we pay you out the commission. Okay. I'm an ethical and have tons of integrity. You've got every single contract is different with the people that you work for. So, you know, I know at a company that starts with N and has an X in it that, you know, they will transfer their bookings, you know, if it's not paid in full. I know another company that starts with a T and it has an M in it and does a lot of Mickey that will not let you transfer their bookings out and you'll lose. So you need to look at your individual contracts. Well, as an independent contractor, you can dual host for a while as well because you are an independent contractor, but I know some contracts do not allow you to dual host. And so you need to look at what your situation is. And I'd say start all of your new bookings with us if you can't transfer, and then fade out of your others. And that's why we're saying, like, we'll give you 6 months fee free at 70 and 80% to help make that transition if you do have bookings. You know, we want to help you. And that might be a case by case thing. We have to look at where you're coming from. We've had one person that wants to join us, and it's been a really complicated battle for her to transfer over. And
we have a couple people who are waiting to join because they're writing their contracts out. So as far as we're concerned, we'll work with you. But if you got to,
like, you got to look at where you're at on that, because it's so different for every
Okay.
host agency.
Okay. We do have.
You got to think about that, because here's the thing. It just gets more complicated. The more you grow your business, then it's like you're stuck and you're never able to transfer, you know, because now you're into 26 and 27 and you're leaving money on the table to come over. And then you just write it out because you're kind of in a bad marriage, you know, and, you know, you want to get out, but you love him, but you don't love him, you know, but you need the money, you know, so we've all been there, not me, but you know, somebody has. So
we have a few people asking how many agents we have, how many advisors we have at Trips and Ships.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
so we're about 80 strong there, you know, and we'll probably, you know, I won't lie, we're probably going to have 200-300 agents, and then I'd probably be fine with that. We're not looking to grow to 10,000. And the thing is, like, I know all of our advisors like children, even all 80. And last week I texted 20 of our advisors and said, how's your business going? I like to know. I like to have an individual relationship with our advisors. And if that's 400 people, I'll text 400 people, because I'm a hands-on owner and I'd like to know what they're doing. And the great thing with that is I can help people, because, you know, I talked to one last week. She's brand new, just came to us right from the industry. And she's like, oh, I've got this group. I don't really know what to do. And, you know, we spent 15-20 minutes just going, okay, how are we going to get this? You know, and kind of help them grow together, you know? So I reach out periodically and just call people at random going, hey, Gigi Mac, tell me about your business and what you're doing, you know? And I feel like I know all my kids, like ducks in a row, you know, and I like that with them. And then I know, like, oh my gosh, she wants to go to India. I'm going to get her on that Abercrombie and Kemp fam, you know, or she wants to do, you know, more Adventures by Disney. We're going to get her down here, or she wants to grow in Distinctive Voyage. So we're going to help them, you know, grow in the cruise space so she can be doing more, you know, cruising in groups. And, it's a win-win for everybody. And that's the problem in the host agency world now is we've got 10,000 people in agencies. You don't know who your owner is. You don't know, you know, they're hiring somebody that's now your new luxury specialist who's, you know, was yesterday's rep at a hotel in Mexico, or, you know, at, you know, Dominican Republic, who's never even been in the luxury space, you know, trying to teach you how to sell luxury. I don't love that.
Okay, so we have a question, and I like this one. My husband and I are both considering being advisors. Is that possible to do through Trips and Chips?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, yes. And we'd have to look at how that looks for you. You know, if you're both booking, you'd both have to sign up. You know, sometimes one person's just as support on it. And so we just have you sign up as one agent, you know, and you guys can run it together. We'd have to look at what that looks like for your individual agency. But if you're both going to be booking and you both need cards and you both need, you know, an email address and all of that, then that's going to kind of be an individual call on that.
We'd have you
Love
both.
people to sell travel together because, you know,
It just makes sense
it makes
because,
sense. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it makes sense when people do it together. If you're traveling together or if you're interested in it together, or if you can support each other, we love that. So
And let me say one other thing, just about, you know, if you're working another full-time job, we've got lots of advisors who are working another job and they do this on the side until they can build up. And all of our education, everything is recorded. So you can pop on wherever. You can be listening to that as you're driving to work. You can, we've got it recorded. We know people are working. We know you're not going to be able to quit your full-time job. I do promise you, though, that people that are consistent and heavily invested in showing up to educationals usually do better over the board. What I don't love is people that hop in and out of the industry. They're, you know, strong for 1 month and we don't see them for 3 months. And then they get a lead and then they don't know their login or their password, or, you know, they don't know how to sell it. They haven't even set up their account. Now they've got a cruise. And I'm like, where were you when we had celebrity on, you know? And that happens because people don't stay consistent. And so regardless if you stay with me or again, stay where you're at, be consistent in what you're doing every day. I'm consistent every single day. I don't miss a beat. I don't miss a beat on social media. I don't miss a training. I don't miss a lunch with somebody. I don't miss talking and travel. And that's why I still, and I sell. And so I can say this, have done $3.2 million this year of our individual sales. You know, that is outstanding. That outshines nearly every advisor in the industry. That is solo, one person selling travel, you know.
one person selling travel while she's running a host agency. So it really is
traveling all over the world remotely. Now it takes, in all fairness, it takes 3 people to back up those bookings. You know, we've got 3 people on my inside sales team, including Cassie, that supports those bookings for me. But we want to get you, like, once you've done 3, 4, 500,000, you should get an assistant to, you know, so you can then focus your time on marketing, and that assistant can be doing all the garbage work for you, of making the payments and corresponding. And we've got tricks to do that, you know, and then you can be investing your time in talking to people and marketing and traveling and building in that space, you know, and use those service fees that you're charging people, those design fees, to then pay that person, you know, so you're still getting the full commission, but you're paying them out of those fees that you charge.
design fees really help wean out people who are just going to nickel and dime you or do all of their own research through Google. It helps kind of wean out from the crowd people you really want to work with. So design fees are good. Let's bookmark this with this question because I think it's a good time to bring this up. So are you only taking a certain amount of advisors at this time? We are
No,
not.
we're actually, we want to take a lot of advisors. We feel like the sales season's hot. I'll tell you what the trends are in travel right now is that, you know, and this is where it comes down to really important. I just came back from the travel leaders meeting where they had the 30 top agencies there. They brought in the Cleveland Research Group, who gives all the data on travel for across the country. They said all inclusive, sun, sea, and sand, low end cruises, flat. You know what's still riding high? Premium and high-end travel, you know? And that's why over the next year, we're like, we've got to get in more advisors and get them trained so they're selling higher end things, you know, so they're prepped for inflation, politics, geopolitical issues around the world, like Israel and Ukraine, that's impacting regional travel, you know, and getting you into a space that you can be being more profitable. So we're going to take on as many advisors from this call right now in one lump sum. And the reason why I want to do it now, and I only open up, you know, a couple times a year to be with our agency, because we're going back to a sales cycle that looks like pre-COVID now, where summers are going to be slower. You know, people are going to be traveling and people are booking further out. And so September, October, November, we're booking into 25. We're booking into 25 and, you know, into, you know, March, April of Q1. We've done 90% of the bookings for this year. So if you're like, geez, I'm not making a lot of money this year. Well, we're almost done. We're almost done selling for this year. You might be getting some last minute Christmas and last minute fall trips, but we're 90% done with that. And now it's starting to look like it did pre-COVID. And we want to get people ramped up and ready in September, October, November to be like selling for 25. So you're not waiting till 26. So if you're sitting around thinking like, oh, I'll do this next year when I get out of, you know, my college course, or, you know, when my kids get back in school or whatever, you know, you'll just get in the cycle of never starting, or, you know, I'll join next spring. Well, now you've missed the sales cycle and, you know, you might as well start in a year from now, you know? So we're going to be doing a big push on getting people educated and feeling like super duper amazing and pushing out things now so they're profitable in 25, making money, right?
So just like we
I feel
recommend,
like a QVC ad, like I'm doing a home shopping, like this shirt's $14.99.
no,
I'm just kidding. You know, I feel like
so
all of a sudden if I put out like a skirt, like, and this skirt too looks amazing. Let's go away from that. I'm not a home shopping club. Okay.
so, but just to kind of go along with that, what Angela said, we do want to bring a lot of people on, but we also want to be able to work with you. We don't want to work with people that don't fit. So we encourage you to go look at some other host agencies, make sure you feel like we're a good fit for you. We want to work with you guys, but we do also
We're
try really
also
hard.
looking at you going, are you the right fit for us? And with that being
Exactly.
said,
It's a
I don't
partnership.
want that, yeah, as an intimidation factor.
No.
Because I can usually tell, and that's why everybody that applies, I'm going to call you and have a conversation with you, because you equally got to be the right fit for us. And that's what most host agencies don't do. They just let you come in, you join them, everybody's in the club, you're paying your little fee with them. You know, we're also looking for the right types of people. And I don't care if you're shy, you know, you live in 7 square feet, you've never been to 2 countries, you know, that means nothing to me. You know, I love a newbie so much, because then we can go, this is a right way to do it. It's so much harder to take somebody that's been in the industry who, you know, leading that horse to water and saying, you should switch over to this, or you should try this, you know, they're harder to like convert. I'd rather take a new person and go, this is what's working successfully with a lot of our advisors, go here. And we almost see a big pop-up in brand new people. You know, what we're looking for is mindset, like somebody who knows that they want to be in the right space. They also know that they have the time to invest, you know, and they're excited. You know, I like exciting people. I like people who, I just like great people. And at the end of the day, like if you don't have integrity, don't join us. You know, if you're not honest, don't join me. You know, if
Yeah,
you can't pass a
we don't
background
want things
check.
like, we don't want people writing their own reviews. We don't want people
Yeah.
undercut great advisors. We
Yeah.
love
Yeah. And
integrity.
this is the other thing that I have a policy called the crab in the bucket policy. Like I have a non-toxic agency. Like don't come in here and be toxic with other advisors on fam trips and talk bad about people and undercut people and bad mouth, talk bad about me, talk bad about our agency. Like we run a really high class agency that's motivating, that we have exceptional people in. You know, we'd rather have people that are selling $20 of travel that have high integrity and high ethics than somebody that's selling a $1 million and is just toxic for us, you know, not interested in that. So.
Okay, so moving forward, their question is, do I also need to fill out the form if I want a call? I would say because the form doesn't cost you any money, that's a good way for us to know we can schedule something with you. Your information goes into that form, correct, Angela?
Yeah.
So that would be a good
Yeah,
place for us
Catherine
to
just
start.
asked, I'm not a travel agent currently. Is there a place for me within your company? I do love to travel and I love Disney. Absolutely. Some of our best advisors have been moms that have switched over, have been college students who just graduated, have been, retirees who want to supplement their income. So yes, and you can decide where you want to start at. I would say don't just limit yourself to Disney, although we have that available to people. I'd say come in and learn all you can, because someone like you, Catherine, that lives in, I know you live in California. I imagine down there in Southern California where you live, you have access to a lot of people that would be buying a lot of the brands that we've got. Do we have other questions?
No, I mean, we got another question about sub-agents, but we did cover that. So yes, we allow sub-agents.
Okay. Have we covered everything? You can turn on your microphones if you've got one.
You're welcome to come off mute and talk if you have questions. And if not, we'll wrap it up.
Okay. So you know where to find us. We've dropped the link there. We'd love to follow up with you. Do you allow partially hosted agents? Karen, tell me what that means. Who's Karen?
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not on camera, but
Yeah.
I am currently independent. I went independent last year from a host agent, but I'm struggling by myself. And I would love to, I followed you, Angela, for over 2 years now, and I would love to get some more support. I'm with Travel Leaders as my consortia as well. So I know what they have in offering, and I just love your program. So
Yeah.
would it be something that I need to be fully hosted with you using your CLIA IATA, or can I do some outside of it that are under my own CLIA and IATA?
Well, I mean, that kind of defeats us when you're not booking with us and just coming in for the educational pieces and everything. So I would say no on that, because we do want people coming in, improving our revenue with that. And so
Okay.
even with DMCs, in our contract, it does say that the agency needs to be making at least a 10% cut, because in terms of that's net based. And so if you're 90-10 and you're working with a DMC and that's a destination management company that doesn't require, our affiliation number, the agency still needs to be making a portion of that. We don't let people run their business on their own and just pick and choose what they're going to run through us.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. I was just wondering, and I honestly haven't found any, I will agree with you. I was with a Virtuoso agency before this. I haven't found any supplier that is with Virtuoso that I haven't been able to book with Travel Leaders. And I actually think there's more with Travel Leaders than there is with Virtuoso. So
yeah, there absolutely is, because if you didn't know, in 2020, they brought over one of the heads of Virtuoso, so Albert Herrera, and he brought over everything and more. And now everybody wants to be with him at Internova, the parent company of Travel Leaders. And so there is a lineup 4 years deep to get into Internova's programs for suppliers and Travel Leaders programs. And so I always ask people, what are we missing? You tell me what we're missing besides the glitz and glamour at their conference in Vegas. Their conference does look better. I mean, our national conference for Travel Leaders, Travel Leaders is run by a bunch of Midwesterners. They're normal looking people. It's not a fashion show. It's not the fashion week of travel, all of that. And you look at that and you think, oh, I want to be a part of that, because that's where all the high end is. And I'm like, I know a ton of Virtuoso agents that are selling nothing, and great. They go to Fashion Week of Travel down in Vegas. But at the end of the day, I'm all about being with the Midwest Club and looking normal, and just going to a normal conference is not the prom, because at the end of the day, we're selling all of it, and we don't have to. Virtuoso costs a ton of money to belong to, and you have to have a $250,000 minimum to be in a Virtuoso agency per agent. And if your agency is not charging you that, they're working against a Virtuoso contract, by the way. And, and that's a hard minimum for people who are brand new to come in and hit and qualify for. And I don't want to have a minimum, because you might be a mom. And I've told some of my moms this, and you've got 4 kids and soccer games and baseball and football. I don't want you neglecting your family trying to make $250,000 to stay at our agency. If you're only bringing me $50,000 in business, 5 bookings that year, I'm happy with your 5 bookings. If you're bringing me $1.5 million, I'm equally as happy. But I love my $50,000 agent as much as I love my, my $15 million agent. If you're bringing me 4 cruises a year, I'm happy with that. If you're bringing me 4 cruises and asking me for your login every week because you forget your login and your passwords, I'm not happy with that. But remember your passwords, right? So.
Okay, so the best way to move forward, and I've got this question a few times, if you are interested in joining us, please fill out that jot form, the link that I posted in the chat, because that helps us see, okay, we need to take these people and now set up meetings with them and get them going, okay?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to look at those and call a ton of people right now, right after this call, because I'm leaving to Europe for a couple weeks to work, and I want to get as many of you guys up and going. And the next step on that would be, thanks, Monica, I'll call you first. Yeah, so the thing that I'm going to do is call people all day and night tonight. And then what's going to happen is we're going to help you get set up on QuickBooks, your 1099 on QuickBooks with us. You don't have to have QuickBooks. You just have to fill out our 1099 form. You have to fill out our contract. Our contract will say that you have an 80% fee and a 90% fee, the fees, but we're not going to charge on that, but we're not going to rewrite the contract. Okay. We're just going to note that we're not charging you. And we're going to charge you what we said, 300. And, we're going to waive those fees for 6 months. So you don't need to worry about that. And then in 6 months, we'll add that subscription onto you based on what you decide on. I just don't want to have to rewrite our whole contract because we offered that today, which we've never offered it before. We've never budged on our prices ever. But I'm really anxious. When I went through the list of all you guys that came in, I was like, this is a good group of people, because I actually went through the entire registry list and I looked you all up and I looked to see I spent all weekend like stalking you. So I knew a little bit more about you, and I was like, this is a good group that we have on here. I'm excited about the opportunities with you. So.
Okay. So before ending the recording, how do people continue to see this recording?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and Cass, why don't we make that available on Zoom for about a week? We're going to leave it open for about a week and then we're going to close it. And then you would have to join within our regular parameters starting next week again. We just want to, we're not the types that want to give you 10 months to think about it. We move fast and we move on because we got to focus on our people that want to be with us, And so we'll leave this open for a week. You can review it. I know I talk like lightning speed. You can hit us questions if you need to.
You just use the link we already sent you to get back into it, right?
Will that still work? Yeah, we'll send out an email with the link and a thank you. And I don't know how to operate Zoom, so we'll have to see. Cassie,
normally what happens is we record them and we put them into our portal where when you're an advisor, you can log in and view.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so
educational
we'll send you the link and you can look at it again. Yeah.
You won't be in our portal yet, so I want to make sure you have access to it. So
yeah,
we'll send it to your emails.
Okay. And I see lots of people buzzing us to talk to us. So I'm going to give you guys a call. So thanks for joining me, you guys. Thanks for being available. Whatever your journey is, be awesome, be amazing. Have a come to Jesus talk with God, because I feel like you've got to figure out what's right for your own life, and I'm a person that relies on like direct revelation from God. And I'm like, you got to figure out what fits for your life, what fits for your family environment, for your partnerships, and make a decision on that. And wherever you land, best of luck. You can keep following me in the Luxury Travel University. I'm always happy to help people, even outside of my industry. It's just in my DNA to want to see people grow and develop and be amazing. You'll be amazing. So we'll see you later.
Angela, will you please end the recording yourself? It won't let me do it.
Okay. Adios.
Thank you.